Everyone's out here trying to sell AI agents, but no one's buying. Do you know what's selling? These tiny micro apps, and they secure clients like clockwork. In this video, I'll show you how you can build one of these micro apps using some simple prompts inside of lovable.dev, and you can connect it up with N8N. And if you stick around until the end of the video, I'll show you where you can download this template. Before we build it, let me show you how the automation works. And you can see that the trigger here is a webhook, and it's actually waiting for a trigger event. So if I head over back to Lovable, you can see that I've created a landing page here just for a lead generation platform. Now the city, I'm just going to select Singapore, and then for the business, I'm just going to select dentist. You can put any location, any industry or business type that you want in here, and then I'm going to submit the information. So now what that's going to do is that's going to send the payload over to N8N through the webhook, and you can see that it's now going through and looping inside of the workflow depending on whatever the output is. So in here, this scrapes something like 200 plus items. I put a limit node here because I only want to limit it to one, just so I can show you as an example on this video. So you can see that it's actually done the automation. I'm going to go back to the output here, and you can see that the output for this particular dentist is, hope you're having a great week. We're helping dental practices like Lovable Dental streamline their appointment management with an AI voice agent. It can handle new appointments, schedules, and cancellations, freeing up your front desk. Would you be open for a quick demo sometime? Now, very simple, very quick, not too salesy, and honestly, not a bad way to sell this. So the micro app itself was built inside of lovable.dev. You can sign up and get some free credits just to test this out. And then for the prompt, I just put in create a quick lead generation intake form. I need two fields, city plus industry. Merge the payload when you send it back to the webhook. For example, Singapore plus dentist. Here's the webhook address. And then this is from my webhook node inside of N8N. Now, the reason I need to merge it is because you'll see when I show you how to build it is that you're going to need to merge the fields before it can scrape it off Google Maps. And then it went through, it thought about it. So there's some reasoning inside of Lovable, which I really like. And it worked for about a minute. And so it will say, I'll create a professional lead generation intake form with a modern design. It wasn't actually that modern. So you'll see what I did next. And the design vision is just professional graded background with subtle animations, clean modern form with focus states, trust burden, blah, blah, blah. And then we want the features. Obviously we need city and industry because that's what we're going to scrape from Google Maps. Responsive, yes, obviously you want that. And then it basically created this output here. And it basically sent the form sends a post request to the webhook with the city industry, and then it's created a new field called merged, which is what I need. And it sends this back into N8N through the webhook. So it created this output here, and the first draft worked, but it wasn't that clean. So then what I did was, if I scroll down, I actually added a screenshot from behance.com. So if you head over to Behance, they got a bunch of SaaS, websites, that kind of stuff. You just take a screenshot of something that you like. So I took a screenshot of this website first, or whatever app this was, and told Lovable to basically update the UX UI to make it a little more polished like this. It tried that, but there was a slight kind of tweak in the UI UX, but it wasn't that much of a difference. So then what I did was I went back and then I sent it this screenshot, which is what I just showed you on Behance, because it's a bit more kind of reactive, right? And I like the colors because blue is very trusting. So then I said I basically put in the same prompt, but then I added a bit more on the end, saying use better fonts, better typography. And then I said basically, let it run, and then it updated everything else. And if I had more credits, what I would have done is I would have added some pricing. So, pricing for 1,000 leads, 10,000 leads, 100,000 leads, or like, 100 leads, 1,000 leads, 10,000 leads, something like that. And you can build that directly into the form. You can also connect it up to Stripe, have a Stripe account connected to this. So whenever you sell this as a service, your customers can actually just connect, pay through Stripe, and then you get paid on the back end. So how this automation works is quite simple. The first trigger is going to be the webhook. So you just want a webhook. The method is post. This is the webhook address. I'm actually using a test, but you can actually go into production with this. So whenever you do build this and go live, you want to use the production URL, and that's basically it, right? So whenever the form has been submitted, it will send the payload into this webhook, which will then trigger the rest of the automation inside of N8N. The next module is a HTTP request mode. And so what this does, this scrapes the Google Maps. As you can see here, this is the base URL, and then I need the merge field from the payload, okay, inside the webhook. So this is what this is. And you can see here at the bottom, if it's worked, that it's going to basically merge Singapore and dentist. That's how you search on Google Maps. And then you know it's worked because you've got an output like this, or let me show you the schema, and you've got a bunch of metadata. And because of that, we need to extract URLs, right, from the website. So what this is doing is going to find Google Maps. It's going to find the website. It's then going to scrape the website for the email addresses. And so that's what everything does. This removes all the junk from the metadata. This will remove duplicate websites. And then I'll put a limit here just because I'm recording a video. You don't actually need this node here. I've just put it down to a max item of 1, just so that it doesn't take too long when I'm recording this. And then it will loop over. So depending on the number of outputs, if you had 22 results here, this will loop around 20 me 2 times, because the next thing I want to do is I want to scrape the website, right? So we've got the website here. Now it's a get method, and you can just use the HTTP request node for this. And you can see here that it's going to basically scrape all the metadata from the website. Then we just wait, add a wait node just to kind of avoid any rate limits. And then we're going to extract the email addresses from there. So it's going to scrape the entire website, and it's going to then find the email addresses. It'll do that as many times as required. I've just added another wait limit here just to avoid the rate limit. And then I've added a filter node here. So what this does is just filters anything that's null. And what I mean by null is that there's no email address, right? So the condition is you only move forward if there's an email address, if the email exists. And so you have that. If it doesn't exist, then it will just stop here. But if you're scraping thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of websites, then you should have plenty of results here. And then what you'll see here is that there's a split out node here. So you can see that in this example, there's 2 emails, right? And this is an array. So an array is just a table. So this is row 1 in the table. This is row 2. And I can't do much with this because it's an object. So what I need to do is I need to split out emails. And so what I've done is gone from 1 item here to 2 items, because you see here there's 2 email addresses. And then after that, we can then remove the duplicate emails, because you can see here that there's 2 email addresses that are the same. We don't need that because it's just going to use up processing power inside of NA10. And if you're using a paid language model, it's just going to burn credits for no reason. So now I've added a duplicate emails filter here. So this will remove everything that's duplicate. And now it's gone from 2 items to 1. And then now we have the email address. We can plug that into the AI agent. So this is the AI agent here. You can see that basically the prompt is just the email address. And then for the system message, I've just said it that you're an AI outreach assistant helping a founder offer. Okay, I can just get this out. Offer an AI voice agent, right? Or helping a local business offer an AI voice agent. Your task is to generate a short, friendly outreach message to offer AI voice agent that handles new appointments, reschedules, and cancellations. Now this, you can tailor this to whatever offer you have. I'm doing this because I've got an AI voice agent that's pretty cool and it doesn't cost me much, and I can try it for free. Then I want to keep it concise. If I have the email address, you can basically take out the company name from the domain name. That usually tells you the email, the name of the company. And then just keep it helpful, curious, respectful of time. I'm not making it too salesy. It's just having a conversation, right? To start a conversation. And then it outputs this here, as you saw. And then what you can do is you can actually add a node for messages. So you can actually email this out. Now I haven't connected this up because it would actually send it out. But if I was to connect it, you'll see here, this is what it will look like. So the email address comes from remove duplicate emails, which is this one here. And the subject line, you can just put in whatever you want in here. I've just put, here's your AI voice agent. It's quite interesting and it adds curiosity. And then for the message output, you just want to drag and drop the output from the AI agent, which is this message here. And there you have it. You have an entire system that you can use to basically sell. You can sell this for anything, any amount that you want, right? You can sell this for a couple hundred, 300. You can have a recurring monthly fee. You can sell this based on 100 leads, 1,000 leads, 10,000 leads. It's entirely up to you. And it's a very profitable system. So instead of selling the back end, which is the AI agent, sell them the front end. This is way more interesting. It's more user friendly, and it's easier to sell this than it is an AI agent, right? Because most clients do not care about what's happening under the hood, right? They know what AI can do, but they want to know how AI can help them. Can it save them time? Can it get them more business? Can it generate more revenue? And these are the conversations that you're going to have when you try and sell these systems. So it makes more sense to sell micro apps, something like this, versus an AI agent that's inside of a technical platform like NA10. And if you like this video, consider signing up to the Automation Kings private AI community. In here, I've got a ton of resources that's going to help you build a business using AI. So I've got an agency classroom here that will show you how to build an AI agency in 16 days. I've got a lead scraper here that helped me secure, $2,000 clients and projects. I've also got a real estate automation here, which is a scraper that helped me find a $3,000 client in the US. There's also a ton of content inside the classroom. So you've got an AI agency course here, and you've got all the blueprints. So if you want any of the blueprints that I talk about on the channel, plus some private ones inside of the community, then just go over here and you can download the actual blueprint, which is a JSON file. You can upload it inside of your own NA10 account, and you've got the video tutorial here to show you exactly how to use it. So thanks again for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Smash the like button, leave your comments below, turn your notifications on, and I'll see you next time.